and welcome back to the newest video of mine. Yes, it's been a while. Originally I had another video planned, but then work kind of got involved. And then Pokemon Legends Z8 came out. So that kind of took all my time. Yeah. And then the DLC came out for the game. But I'm back. And, well, I got a new setup for my microphone. So, if I sound differently, that's why. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I've already wasted enough time getting to this video in the first place. The point of this video is making forms for my starter Pokemon. I'll get into them more when I actually talk about them. Let's just get into it though. We're gonna be starting off with the Mega Evolutions. Because, well, of course, I have to. For reasons. For these guys, I basically made them more of what they already are. I don't really have too crazy stuff to go over with these guys. I did some other stuff with the other forms. The Megas, though, are more of what they are already, basically. I'm gonna talk about the Fire Starter Incineroar's Mega first. For the Incineroar forms, I want to accentuate like certain parts of it, and same with the others, but this is most prevalent with the fire form. And with this dude, I accentuated its ears, made them kind of like wings, because, well, kind of fairy-like, you know. I mainly bulked him up a bit. I made it so that his arms are glowing with fire and stuff, same with the legs and his tail. Basically what I did with him, I expanded on his like flame aspect and a bit of his fairy aspect. And the horns, I changed up the shape. Overall, he's just mainly more of the same that's already there. So, and I'll have more to talk about with his other forms. So, let's talk about the Grass Starter though. So for the Grass Starter, like Mega, I wanted to, well, make him a speedster. In his original form, he has armor. I took some of that armor away, cutting a bit of his defense, and putting it into his speed. He has a cool cloak now, and I made his color scheme more autumn-like, warmer tones. Just making him sharper, yeah, just more of what he already is. A protector of the forest. Let's move on to the final Mega Evolution, Platypoxin. I thought it was a good idea to add some green to his design, because poison and stuff. Not gonna lie, the Platypoxin forms were the hardest to design, and definitely gave me, is this gonna look good? I do like the forms though. I think they came out good. I trusted the process and it paid off. I just made him darker colors and gave him green, and made him bulky. One of the things though I did try to avoid with him was making him not look too much like Mega Swampert. Hopefully I succeeded. Let me know which Mega you like best. Here are the dex pages.
Mega Incineroar, the Jackalope Pokemon. The fire burning in Mega Incineroar's body gets so hot that excess heat turns its arms and legs red hot. It uses its large ears to cool itself off when it gets too heated. The mystical powers it emits are used to keep itself calm at all times. Mega Washikishi, the Noble Soul Pokemon. The armor that Washikishi wears has become more compact due to Mega Evolution, increasing its speed drastically at the cost of its defense. It uses the speed to swiftly eliminate threats. Mega Platypoxin, the Platypus Pokemon. Deadly poison has stimulated Platypoxin's muscles to increase beyond its normal limits. It uses its newfound raw strength to bulldoze any opponents in its way.
Alright, let's move on to Gigantamax forms. So, these are my first Gigantamax forms, period. So, Along with figuring out what the design is, I also had to figure out how I was going to make the forms in the first place. I think I did a good job. I got the point across at least. The biggest thing though that I used for designing my Gigantamax forms is making them mainly up angles and using the shading primarily on the top part. Hopefully I did a good job. Again, you'll have to let me know in the comments. Let's talk about Gigantamax in Cinderlope first. So, I've alluded to this in the Mega part of this video. For the designs going forward, I want to accentuate a part of more than others. And with the Megas, it wasn't as drastic as these ones. For the G-Max ones, I want to accentuate their primary typings. As you can see with this dude. For this one, I accentuated the fire, obviously with the water. I tried to do that. That was the hardest one to make for me. Of these 9 actually. And the grass one, obviously. This one is the most obvious of the 3, so I'll get to them. I made him more fire, and I actually turned the horns, antlers, whatever, into fire. That was a cool aspect I thought was cool. Hopefully you think the same though. But let's move on to the grass Gigantamax form. So, the grass starter. Obviously, in his first form, he had a cloak made of, like, grass or leaves and stuff. So, I said, expand that. I also sort of took, like, Native American, like, eagle. I'm not sure if this is entirely true. But you know, like, the totems with the eagle heads on them? I think those are Native American. I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah. That's what this one reminds me of. And yeah, apparently bald eagles are important, so I include that in his lore. We'll talk about that when getting to the deck entry page. I just made him bigger. I made his cloak bigger, and yeah, he just looks like an elder that you go to and stuff. I like him. He's simple, but he works. Alright, this one. Let's talk about it. This was the worst one to design for me. I knew I wanted to do with the concept, but I don't know, I was just not feeling this one at all. It only started to like look good when I actually started to finish it. Like painting, like only in the last like few percentage it looks good. This dude was hell. And he didn't really look that good to me until I started to finish him. Not my favorite one, but he works. Obviously, I made him look like a wave. This one was hard to like get the water aspect front and center. You'll have to let me know what you think of him. I think I did an alright job. Probably not the best I could have done, but maybe I might redo him in the future. Who's to say? But yeah, these were the Gigantamax forms though. Let's just get to the deck entry pages though.
Gigantamax in Cinderlope, the Jackalope Pokemon. Due to the power of Gigantamax, in Cinderlope's mystical energy takes a bat sea to the raging inferno overtaking its body. The flames it produces enrages its opponents into making rash moves. Gigantamax Washikishi, the noble soul Pokemon. Standing high above the rest, this Gigantamax Pokemon has authority over the forest itself. People have come to this Pokemon for prayer so that their voices can be heard by Arceus. Gigantamax Platypoxin, the platypus Pokemon. Platypoxin has gained immense size that it uses to crash into its opponents like a tidal wave.
But enough of Gigantamax forms and Megas and stuff like that. Let's get into something that hasn't been seen before. That being terrestrial forms. Yeah, I made my own terrestrialized forms, since Scarlet and Violet did not give us that. Sort of. They gave it to 2 Pokemon. For these forms, I decided to sort of fuse the crowns into the designs itself. So for terrestrialized Incineroar, his antlers became the Terrestrial Crown itself. Well, as you can see here, for these guys, these were the longest ones by far out of this video to make. Like double the time as the other ones. Because the crystal thing, crystal rendering, that took a long time to do. Also, I didn't know what I was doing, so there's that. I do really like these guys, though. I will be doing more in the future. They're just gonna be irritating to make. But I will make them. I'll just have to figure out which ones, because these were out of the blue. The reason, though, I made all these forms for the starters, well, thinking back, obviously with the Kalos and stuff, one of the biggest letdowns in the X and Y games were the fact that no Kalos Pokemon got Megas, which, well, in Sun and Moon, they rectified that with Z-Moves for the Alolan Pokemon, Gigantamax with that, and then Terrestrial forms they didn't get anything. So, for my game, I wanted to give them the forms. And I wanted these ones to have options, you know. Also, these guys do have Z-Moves. How do I illustrate that? Obviously, it's possible, but... And I'll make a Dex thing later, Pokedex for this region game, and I'll elaborate the Z-Moves on that. To recap, these guys all have 3 forms, and a Z-Move. And obviously, these ones I have increased, the aspects of the secondary types, so Fairy, Steel, and Poison. For Incineroar, I wanted to make him, softer, because the original one had sharper edges. I downplayed that for the Fairy form on this guy. For Washikishi, well, I played up more the armor aspect. So instead of, the cloak getting bigger and stuff, it's the opposite. It actually doesn't have a cloak. I think for the terrestrial forms, going forward, I think what I'll do to make them different is give them a 2.5 boost to the type they are. For these guys, Steel, Fairy, Poison, those types would be the same type attack boost stuff. That's 2.5 instead of the usual. Or is it normal? I don't know. They do more damage than what they usually do. Not insanely special, gameplay wise. Obviously they become one type, they lose their Firewire Grass type. And they gain a bigger boost to the secondary. But other than that, not much else really too crazy. I do like these guys. They're cool. Very difficult to render, especially with the crystal texture. And obviously, again, getting used to, terrestrial forms, what I'm doing. It was a learning curve, to say the least. But these were fun to draw. These were fun to make. Overall, I had a good time. I think these came out to be some of the best renders. I don't know. Obviously, if I do this more, I'll get used to it and get better. Maybe I might not like these in the future, but at the moment, I like them. They're in a spot that I am happy with. I think I've rambled probably not enough. These were, again, 2 times as long as the other stuff. But hopefully I can make it work in the editing. Now we're moving on, though, to the next entries for these guys.
Terrestrialized Incineroar, the Jackalope Pokemon. When terrestrializing, Incineroar absorbs Terra energy, expanding its mystical antlers' powers. Due to this, their compassion for others increases. It tries to end fights as quick as possible to minimize the pain of its opponent. It gives warm hugs. Terrestrialized Washikishi, Noble Soul Pokemon. Terrestrial energy has hardened Washikishi's armor into pure steel, and uses this newfound power to guard the forest from those who would cause it harm. It uses its own body as a shield. Terrestrialized Platypux, the Platypus Pokemon. Poison terror shards have connected to Platypox's brain, affecting its actions. Due to this, they are far more aggressive than regular Platypox. It takes a special trainer to master this form.
And that will do it for the forms, not including Z forms, because, well, I don't want to do that. They do have Z moves though, just letting you know that now. Let me know which set of forms were your favorite, but let me know which form you like of each starter if you want. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this video though. I know it's been a while. And I know my voice probably sounds different, obviously. I got a new mic, and I'm trying it out for the first time. I am working on other stuff in the background though. I will be releasing another Pokemon video soon to kind of give updates on what's going on. So look forward to that soon. I want to get it done so I can start on another video that's not Pokemon. Like, I want to go back to the game concept video. I know more about it and have more knowledge on character stuff. Also got updates there. I got too much on my plate right now. So, hopefully I can get everything sorted out. Other than that, I have nothing really else to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. I think there's a new feature called Hype, so I don't know if that's a new thing. Hype this video up. Yeah. But other than that, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Poison terrors. Yeah. I'm dying. Which were, previously Ash-like, Dog. Meow. Hello. Meow. My cat. Hello. Hi. Hi. Good kitties. Alright. And stuff. Hi. I love you. Meow. You're good kitties? Yeah, you're a good kitty. Alright.